Am I the astronaut for not knowing my wife's age? It's not a great start. Not a great start. Also, this is a cake story, so this is going to get worse. Last week was my wife's birthday. I usually just get her something she's been wanting as a gift, but this year I thought I'd surprise her with a cake as well. It wasn't anything fancy or expensive, just a simple chocolate cake from a bakery near my office. I also had them put "Happy 44th birthday, Liz" on the top, which turned out to be a mistake because apparently it was only her 43rd birthday. Well, if you're gonna get it wrong, you gotta go the other direction, pal. They cover this in husband orientation. You weren't there for that, apparently. You see, I am 11 months older than my wife, almost to the day, so every year for a month, we are the same age. I could have sworn that I am 44 years old and that she too would turn 44 last week, and we'd spend the next 30 days both being 44. But after some elementary mathematics, it turns out that I am, in fact, only 43 as well. Anyway, back to the story. On the day of her birthday, I picked up the cake and headed home. I left the cake on the kitchen counter, and as I went to find her and let her know I'd arrived home, and somehow we managed to miss one another in passing because I didn't see her in her home office where she usually is, but instead I heard her squawk from the kitchen. Yes, it was a literal squawk. Somebody give me a literal squawk, please. I need to know. I headed back to the kitchen thinking it was the sound of excitement at the surprise chocolate cake that was waiting for her there, only to find her standing cross-armed with a look of discontent on her face. She just looked at me and said, "Seriously?" and stared at me like she was expecting me to apologize for something, but at this point, I still had no idea what I'd done wrong. So at this point, OP's like, "Sorry, I got you cake." It's like I really can screw literally anything up. After probably 5 minutes of her acting baffled at my stupidity and me being completely confused, she finally told me that I had gotten her age wrong. This to me seemed like a very trivial mistake, which should have been quite easily overlooked, especially since I had surprised her with a chocolate cake. However, to her, I not only should have known her age, but if I did have to guess, I should have guessed lower than her actual age. Yeah. So apparently I had I put "Happy 42nd birthday" on her cake, it would have been okay. Yeah. It's now been a week and she still hasn't let it go. Why is age such a big deal to women? And am I the astronaut for not knowing what her actual age is? Or my own, for that matter. That is end of story here. I can relate with OP a little bit here. Not for not knowing my wife's age. I know my wife's age because I can do math and I know what year she was born. And if I ever have a doubt, I'm like, okay, what year is it? Okay. And yes, I can figure it out. I forget my age all the stinking time, but same thing. I can do the math. I know what year I was born. If I have to figure it out, I can figure it out. But there was a 3-year stretch where I thought I was 30, apparently. And Candy Thunder was like, "You haven't been 30 for a minute, babe." Measure twice, cut once. There you go. Once I hit 30, I just stopped keeping track, apparently. I'm like, it is what it is. I don't know. But if it's a big deal to your wife, maybe you should take it seriously. Hey, and guess what? If you're not sure, when in doubt, don't push the goddamn number on the cake. Just say "happy birthday." You don't have to put a number on it. Why would you do that? Just break it out, man. Why would you put a number on there if you're not 100% confident in that number? You don't have to put a number. Why for do you do this? Beer today. Sorry, I got carried away, man. You're up to give some feedback here. Beer today.
I'm applauding myself. I'm sorry. You know, I had the same thoughts as you with the empathy. I've done this, not to my wife, mind you. I did this to a coworker. We needed to plan a birthday party I thought she was turning 40. So we ordered like cake and somebody ordered a custom cake and a banner. So it happens, but it happens. But
you can only say it happens if you've done it. That's it.
But I have.
I know.
But I have.
I know.
But see, if it was, I didn't know her well enough to know if it was like what her actual year was. But the women in your world, you give them you don't put the number on the cake.
Exactly.
You just don't put the number on the cake.
Don't put the number on the cake.
You got to be 100% sure, like copy of birth certificate notarized to know this is actually how year, and have someone check your math. Can you check my math? Somebody's got to have that math check. Don't screw that up. I don't know if it's like full on asshole mode because it wasn't intentional. It was more brozo, like, dude.
It was brozo.
Very much so. Maybe 4. Got to be a little bit on the scale. Maybe 3. I should have done it differently. If nothing else, don't put the number on the cake. Don't put the number on the cake, guys.
Right? It was an honest mistake. It was a brozo thing to do because it was an honest kind of buffoonery type mistake. But now you know. Now you know that it is a big deal. Not wanting to appear older than you are is an aesthetic thing. It's like, oh, you think I look older than I actually am. That sucks. I look older than I actually am. I know that. It's because of my white beard. I get it, and I'm embracing it. But for people who do care about it, yeah, play it safe. Don't put the number on the cake. Okay? Yeah.